Welcome to the Oasis State podcast. Cheers for tuning in. This podcast is dedicated to educating and empowering women to step into their self-love infused power. As a woman, there are so many nuances that influence our relationship with self. Join me as I share my personal experiences with and deep understanding of mindset development, energetics, and self-mastery. I will help you deconstruct societal conditioning and your own outdated beliefs through a lighthearted, playful lens of perception. I will introduce you to tools that will help you redefine your interaction with life, powerfully manifest your wildest dreams, and enjoy every step along the way. Let this podcast guide and support you as you make the commitment to remember your magic within. This is your self-empowerment pep talk. Hello! Welcome back to the Oasis State podcast. My name is Zoe Rose Carey and I'm your host. Hello again! Thank you so much for tuning in. I really hope you are resonating with the content so far. I hope you're enjoying yourself. Good start. I am absolutely having the best time recording these. It's always something I've wanted to do, but now I'm actually doing it. I'm like, wow, this is why I've wanted to do it for so long, because it's just such an exciting avenue for me. I love social media. I love connecting with people online, but I've just always felt that social media is such a fast-paced platform that the messages that I wanted to get out there are a bit longer, and I didn't really feel like they aligned with social media. So I've tried blog posts, and I really, really loved writing blog posts. I was a uni student for 9 years and worked as a marine biologist in academic research prior to my life as a mentor. So I'm very, very accustomed to writing, and I really enjoy that. So I started with blog posts as a way to kind of write a bit more content about what was on my mind, what I wanted to share, what I felt would help people. And that was a really fun journey. So it was basically just writing uni assignments, but with fun content or content that aligns with me more now. So yeah, I really loved writing my blog posts. They're on my website if you'd like to check them out. And yeah, and then I started navigating, it's still not landing for me. I think I just wanted to talk. I wanted to speak a bit more. So we're here now recording episodes. And yeah, I can't believe how much I'm enjoying it. Like, I really wanted to start it, but now I'm actually doing it. I'm like, oh my God, here's my flow state. I'm feeling good. I'm hoping that all of these messages are resonating and being received by you guys, because it's just so valuable to understand these things. And as I've mentioned, this podcast is dedicated to educating and empowering women to step into their self-love infused power. And education is a huge part of that. And I do dive deeper with my my clients in my group programs and my one-on-ones about the more energetic embodiment and healing and releasing side of things. Which if I ever have the honor of working with you, we will go really, really deep into. But I just wanted this podcast to serve as a companion and a bit of education. In the meantime, as you can get a little taste test of what I have to offer, and or it might just be this podcast might just be some company as you're driving home every afternoon, and just planting those little seeds and helping you just absorb a bit more in your mind, if you know what I mean. So I'm here recording these podcasts. And it's such a wild ride. I mentioned I think I mentioned on previous episodes that I recorded them under a blanket on my laptop, and apologies for any lack of sound quality. I hope you're still receiving the message, and I'm definitely in the process of getting some more professional gear and space and everything to keep recording these podcasts. So I was recording them under a blanket in my home office, and I don't know if it helped or not. Like, I felt like it did, but it could have just been my mind trying to, trying to tell me it was. But it was just someone if it was someone giving that advice on the internet, just as a joke, like taking the piss, I fully fell for it. So yeah, anyway, I was having fun while I was recording it. And today's episode 4, I'm recording from my gorgeous, amazing, wonderful van on wheels, which is my van. Wow, guys, I'm having a really good start to today. My home on wheels, my van, that is my home on wheels, is what I'm trying to say. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna keep rolling with it because I really love recording these, and it's uplifting me a lot at the moment. So I'm just going to keep recording regardless of my tongue ties. And I hope you're appreciating the realness. Okay, before we begin, some really exciting news. At the time I've recorded this podcast, yesterday, so the day before, it is May 2022, I released this amazing, wonderful podcast yesterday. So I've you may be listening this we're listening to this obviously as episode 4, and you may be thinking, why haven't you released it beforehand? But I just wanted to release a few episodes at the start in case any of you guys really, really enjoyed the podcast and wanted to have a little binge. I didn't want to record one episode that you might have really enjoyed and then leave you hanging. So I took the time to record 3 podcasts and then release them as like a little season 1, premiere kind of thing. And yeah, so that was yesterday, and now I'm here. Recording episode 4, and episodes will come out weekly from now. So yeah, it was really a huge moment for me. As I mentioned on previous episodes, I have been so excited but equally terrified to record these. It's really putting myself out there. I'm quite vulnerable. I'm just speaking my mind and hoping that it resonates, and if it doesn't for anyone, they can just press pause and get out of the episode. Like, I'm not forcing anyone to listen to this, but I really do hope that it is making a difference. And yeah, it was a huge moment, getting it out there to the world, and I've received some really beautiful feedback so far, and it seems like people are equally as excited for the arrival of this podcast as me, which just absolutely lights me up, because I'm just always always thinking about, like, so I'm an Aquarian. I don't know too much about astrology, but I'm an Aquarian, and I've been told I'm very in my head, which I am. I'm always like sitting there, like trying to deconstruct like these existential questions of like, why are we here? How do I serve people? How do we live our best, happiest life? Like, it's always going on in the background. Not as I'm not That's not a complaint. It's just I'm just here. Like, that's so my purpose. I'm just here to help people live more in alignment, and especially women live more in alignment and live more in their power, because that is literally my day to day experience and my day to day focus. Um, so yeah, and it could be the Aquarian thing as well, but I'm not too well versed in astrology. But yeah, I just am really excited to have this avenue to. I'm always thinking about how I can like help people, and how I can just even like a 20-minute episode on your drive home from work, if I can give you one aha moment where you just realize life is not as hard as you make it seem, or help you kind of navigate your interaction with life in a more comfortable, natural way. Oh my god, I'm gonna sleep at night. I'm gonna be so happy going to bed at night with a big smile on my dial. So I'm just really excited to be recording this. And it was really great to finally release it yesterday. Another big step out of my comfort zone, and really kind of solidify this as an avenue to help women and step back into our power, and understand a way that we can remember, identify, and reveal our power, one, to ourselves, and then how to reveal it to the world. So yeah, I'm rambling, but I just love this, guys. So yeah, without further ado, I should know these words because I'm recording a podcast. Let's get started. Okay, today's episode is about giving yourself so much more permission than you already are. um, as I mentioned, I really have been so active, and made my self mastery journey the forefront of my experience and focus for over a decade now. And there is quite a watchful eye in the spiritual community, or personal development community, or conscious community, there's a lot of labels, as I mentioned every episode, there's a lot of labels basically for similar things. So don't take the labels that I'm saying too seriously, because you might see spirituality as something I see as consciousness, but to me it is kind of the same thing too. So I digress, but um, there is a watchful eye in these communities, and maybe just in society in general. We're always kind of posting the highlight reel of, oh, I made it to yoga today, or I've meditated, or I did a Reiki healing or something like that. And I feel like the watchful eye has kind of not given us enough permission to own our own self mastery journey and define it exactly how we would like to. So it's really great. There are some beautiful leaders out there that I admire and follow that are all about promoting the uniqueness of our journey. And I always live by the mantra to say, to not focus on what is wrong with me, because a lot of societies out there trying to fit us into certain boxes and categories of like, are you this woman, are you that woman, do you do this as a woman, do you do that as a woman? And it fosters this question in our mind of like, fuck, what's wrong with me, what's wrong with me? And I'm always trying to focus in my personal life and with my friends and family and my clients how to shift that question of what is wrong with me to what is unique about me. And this is a question we need to be applying to our own self mastery journey as well. So, as I mentioned, there is a watchful eye out there by society and by particular communities, and it may lead you to not totally be stepping into your power with your self mastery journey and not totally accepting where you are in your journey. You might be 50 years into your journey, and it never ends, guys. It's always a journey. You never hit a point where you're like, oh, fuck yeah, I'm enlightened. Like, but you never want it to be as well. It's this beautiful, amazing roller coaster. And I'm sure I giggle because I'm like, well, in the low moments, you're definitely not like, woo, roller coaster. But you know that the lulls and the ebbs and the contrast are temporary. And you're like, you still have this understanding of like, ooh, I wonder what juicy lesson I'm going to get out of this. So don't don't feel any judgment for where you're at in your journey. So as I mentioned, there could be someone listening to this episode that has been actively on their self mastery journey for 50 years, and someone that's just starting to ask those questions of, maybe I could live my life by design. Maybe I could be more powerful than I am. Maybe I could love myself. Maybe I could manifest my wildest dreams. And I want you to soften the watchful eye of society and your own judgment and shift that into self awareness, because you are the one that's not giving yourself permission to live your life exactly how you want to and live and navigate your self mastery journey exactly how you'd like. So, what does this mean? As I mentioned, you'll see all over social media or in community groups you're in, etc. This doesn't have to be on an online space either. I mean, physical community groups or a workplace or something. People have this highlight reel of, yeah, I meditate every day and I do yoga, etc. But we are so conditioned to only have that as a part of our life. But I find the people that I admire the most, or the people that I am most interested in, are the ones that break that mold of a spiritual person or a conscious person or a self-mastered empowered person. And they might, that for example, it might be, yeah, they meditate every day, but they also listen to like gangster rap and have a freaking boogie. And like I love my like R&B tunes. That's so high school for me. It's so childhood. And I loved, I just love listening to, yeah, like rap and R&B and all those amazing artists. But I personally, earlier on in my journey, would have hidden that part of myself, like, no, I listen to chanting and hymns and yoga playlists and stuff like that all the time. And I realized I was denying myself the permission to live out and navigate my self mastery journey in a unique way. So for another example, You might be into your self mastery practices and you show up every day for yourself and you're journaling and you're great with your self care, but you also want to go out on to dinner with your gal pals. So I'm laughing because I've never said gal pals. It just comes out. With your girlfriends and your gal pals on a Friday night and you want to get a chili margarita, and that's okay. And or you might really enjoy material success and you love buying designer handbags or living in a five-story mansion or something like that. The point is that don't let anyone else dictate to you what your journey looks like, because I think people get quite confused at that if you're on this self-mastered journey that you're so ascended that you don't need material success, or you don't need that caramel slice when you're on your bleed, when you're at the when you walk past the bakery and you just absolutely can't resist it, like there is this polarity in life and these differences in our experiences and our focuses that is dying to be expressed more and owned more, like as long as your habits aren't hurting or hindering yourself or anyone else, they are completely fine to be to own. So I used the example before of buying a coconut, oh no, coconut or a chili margarita. You choose your flavor, gal. I use the example of buying an alcoholic beverage when you're out with your friends on Friday night, but you may feel like, oh, this isn't really in alignment with me. You know what? If it's gonna help you feel like you're celebrating yourself, have one margarita. But the point is to practice self awareness and self um, control, almost in that right word. So I'm not here jumping on saying go and have a bender 3 nights a week, wake up hungover, and never ever, and all of those practices take yourself away from your self care, self mastery practices, but just soften in the process. And remember, we are here for the human experience, and we are here for the material experience. So go out and have one margarita with your friends, or buy that sneaky treat at the bakery or something like that, or listen to whatever music you want and paint your nails if you want. But as long as those habits aren't hindering or harming yourself or anyone else, they are totally fine. Don't feel as though when you start your self mastery journey, it means you need to give up all of these things. You might be someone that absolutely loves to sleep in, but you've been totally conditioned to wake up at 3 a.m. like the monks and do 75 hours of meditation before your day. Like, that's sustainable for a monk, but not for yourself. You know what I mean? So, obs- observe what other people do. If it resonates with you, give it a try. If it doesn't, try something else. But it's about having the trust and the self confidence to navigate those things by yourself and really, really step into your own power with designing your own self mastery experience and your own relationship with life. You know what I mean? So, yeah, like I said, you might be more into the material side of things. And that's something I'm personally trying to allow with myself, because I definitely fell into that spiritual poverty trap of, oh, but if I'm spiritual, then I shouldn't want material things. And now I'm like, what the fuck? Said who? Like, maybe this monk meditating out in the Himalayas, but that suits his life. But for me, I I'm a very ambitious person, and I don't want to say work hard because there's a whole negative connotation with that, which I'll go into another time, but I'm very productive and I'm very ambitious and I'm very focused. And if sometimes celebrating that is like jumping on my Shakti mat and doing a meditation with some chakra crystals or something like that. And other times it might be buying a surfboard that I want that's going to enhance my life, or going and getting my hair done, or buying a new dress or something like that. Like, the way that I celebrate my little wins is completely up to me. So, yeah, guys, I really want you to start giving yourself that permission to navigate your self-mastery journey on your own accord. And that also means that you might be here listening to this like, "Oh my god, Zoz, no, it's way too wish-washy, it's way too fluid and open and feminine energy that you're talking about right now." You might be more in your masculine energy and you really, really thrive from having a 2-hour meditation practice every morning and only eating raw vegetables and having 35 juice cleanses. Like, go for it. If you're listening to this and you're like, no, that freedom doesn't resonate with me, and I don't feel like I need to live by design. I like being being given instruction about how to live my day, and I need my day in order. But the point of this podcast and the message of this episode is to own it. If that's the way that you function, own that. Or if you're listening to this, like, oh my God, no, like waking up and doing a 2 hour meditation and raw foods and all of that order and structure is literally causing a stress, visceral response in my body, then own that. Own that you're going to have this fluid energy and maybe wake up every day and choose from an ecosystem of rituals, tools, habits, teachings, practices that are going to fill up your cup. But you wake up every day as a different version of yourself. And especially as a woman with all of our hormonal ebbs and flows throughout our whole moon cycle, it's every day we're probably going to need something different. So, what I'm trying to say is own your process. Give yourself permission to navigate your self mastery process on your own. And I'm trying to be an advocate for self mastery because I don't want anyone that's at the start of their journey apprehensive about committing to it because they feel that they can't have fun anymore and they can't go on a shopping spree, or they can't buy, like I said, buy that a chocolate cake, like whatever. Just do whatever you want as long as you are showing up for yourself, every single yourself and your future self and where you're going to some degree every single day. Everything else doesn't matter. Of course, like I said, it's all, if it's hindering or harming you, then no, but this is on you guys. This is trusting yourself, having self-awareness and self-confidence to create these boundaries with yourself, with your time, with your energy, with your finances, with your practices and everything. But we are so used to outsourcing our our way, our permission, and the way that we navigate this journey that it sucks a lot of the fun out of it, and it sucks a lot of the in yeah, enjoyment. That's kind of the same thing, kind of the same thing. But you know what I mean? Like sometimes your spiritual practice would be chucking on a face mask, putting your speaker on in your bedroom, and dancing around your room like an absolute, like, I'm trying to think of the right word, like just totally absolute crazy out there ecstatic kind of dancing. You know what I mean? Like, and that's shifting energy. That is actually like scientifically being proven as a practice of shifting stagnant energy. So maybe I can do another episode on kind of introducing you guys to a whole different plethora of self mastery practices, because I think we're so conditioned to think it's like sitting still and meditating and all of these things that definitely 100% have their purpose and their benefit for me and for everyone. But I think we are just so ignorant to the how wide and out there and different all of these practices can be. And yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there. I just get really passionate. And this is only episode 4 for me, so hopefully I've been able to, the message has landed for you guys. And I just don't want to keep going in circles with what I'm saying, but I just get so passionate that I keep talking. But yeah, guys, give yourself permission to navigate and design your life and your self mastery journey exactly how you see fit. Include fun, include rest, include a blowout, include material success, include spiritual practices, include nature, include family, include friends, like anything you want to include, as long as it's not negative, harmful, or hindering you or anyone around you, it is going to be worthwhile. Okay. Um, so yeah, I'll leave that there. I'll leave in my show notes. I'm leaving my contact details, which I have a website if you'd like to check it out. I've got an email address if you'd like to reach out with me with any questions. I'd also like you to reach out to me with recommendations of things that you'd like me to dive deeper in and talk about on these episodes. And then I've also got an Instagram which you can follow as well, which is has a lot of updates and just is that very easy. Obviously, as we know with social media, that easy, lighthearted way to keep in contact with me. And yeah, on whatever platform you're listening on, if you can if you can leave a comment, if you can subscribe, any way that is just kind of supporting the little grassroots of this amazing, fun platform, I would really, really appreciate that. And also let your friends know, let anyone know that you think would resonate with this, because we're all in this together, guys. And the last 2 years has been so intense. We need as much support education, practices, etc. We need as much of that as we can right now to really be filling up our cup as much as possible. It's almost like there's so much uncertainty and challenges and contrast going on in our external. We literally need to make our self-care and our self-mastery our full-time job sometimes. So if you know anyone that would resonate with this podcast, I would deeply, deeply appreciate you sharing it with them, as a means to help them navigate their own self-love infused empowerment journey. Okay, guys, until the next episode, I'm sending all my love. Bye.